please state your
Melissa Goodrich, Blaine County Prosecutor.
Dr. Amber Libby, on behalf of Vanessa Escobar, is present in the courtroom to my left.
Have you had a chance to review the probation violation report, client?
I have, Your Honor.
Any additions or corrections?
Just one correction on the agent's, I'm sorry, Judge, I was just grabbing it. It would be page 4, Your Honor. There's an indication she pled guilty under 7411. The status of that 25th District Court is actually HIDA.
H and Martin, can we make that change?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ms. Goodrich, any additions, corrections?
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Libby, anything you want to say on behalf of the client?
Yes, there is, Your Honor. Thank you very much. I'm first just providing Ms. Goodrich and the court with a copy of a letter drafted for the court by Ms. Martinez, which is Ms. Escobar's mother. Thank you. Your Honor, Ms. Escobar is before you at age 24. She is before you for a first.
Can you give me a second?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Escobar is before you at age 24. Her status before you is as a probationer from an attempt uttering and publishing conviction wherein she was sentenced to 18 months probation on December 19th, 2023. From my review, she's before you on the first non-technical probation violation in her case. I'm not aware of any other probation violations at this time. And that allegation is said to have occurred on August 27th, 2024. That violation was substantiated after hearing and we're before you for sentencing today. The record, the court's order of probation indicates that she's completing or would complete her probation on June 19th of this year. And the status of the charge uttering and publishing required payments of restitution, which Ms. Escobar has been making. She does intend to complete that restitution when she receives her tax return this year. But in any event, Your Honor, we are asking the court to deviate from the recommendation and allow her to complete this probationary term. Ms. Escobar's violation is based on a case out of the 25th District Court, wherein Ms. Escobar was placed on a term of probation under and deferred for HIDA. As to that allegation, Ms. Escobar was stopped for defective equipment, consented to a search of her vehicle, and law enforcement located substances in her named prescription bottles that were inconsistent. Ms. Escobar is someone who has been clean and sober for approximately 2 years.
Since 2021. No, 2022. Since 2022.
Which is extraordinary, Your Honor, as I anticipate she will be speaking to the court given her past
Explain that to me. She's just been convicted last summer for possession of fentanyl.
possession, Your Honor. She was tested that day and was negative for any controlled substances.
Well, all right, but I mean, someone who's clean and sober generally isn't walking around with fentanyl. That would cause me to not believe her that she's got that long clean and sober.
I understand, Your Honor. Her position is that the substances were actually not hers. And so the officer did test her that day and she was negative. The reason we're asking the court to defer from the recommendation for incarceration is because she's experiencing significant health issues in addition to her relative compliance on your probation so far. If I could just briefly summarize for the court, Ms. Escobar is seeing a therapist weekly. She has got neurological appointments through Dr. Sadri to diagnose and test for seizures and neurological symptoms. That testing is on March 19th with a follow-up scheduled for April 10th. She sees, I'm getting there, yeah, no problem. Dr. Zazer is in Dearborn. She sees them for an ER follow-up based on the seizures and an evaluation on April 1st. She has an MRI of her brain in Dearborn on March 26th. And she sees a psychiatrist monthly for medication management in Dr. Mrozinski. Additionally, she is gainfully employed at McDonald's, and is maintaining those shifts despite these health issues. And largely, Your Honor, I think the response that the district court in Dearborn had as to place Ms. Escobar on height of probation was responsive to who she is and how she's been behaving. Essentially, my review of her probationary record here is that she's been in compliance with the court's orders other than catching that case. So I'm asking the court to allow her to prove that, to complete this probation, to pay her restitution, and to allow her to engage with her medical professionals and diagnose these neurological issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you tell me on the restitution, I've got her last payment being November of 2024. Is there any payments since then?
She believes she made a payment in February
Yeah.
at the hearing, Your Honor.
February 2025.
There was a payment in February.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Escobar, you don't have to make a statement today, but you're allowed. Is there anything you want to tell me?
I did. Okay. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't cry. Okay. I want to start off by apologizing to everybody I hurt and disappointed. Back in 2022, when I called the late charge, I was on Percocet 30s every single day. I never missed a day. I said eventually I got laced with fentanyl and I almost died. I decided that was it and I got clean. I went through withdrawals by myself and I overcame them by myself. I was on pills for almost 4 to 5 years and I never looked back. After I sobered up in 2022, I had such bad mental health issues. I was cutting myself and just depressed in so many ways. I decided it was time for a change. So I physically put myself through psychiatry and therapy to help get the help that I needed because I was losing my mind. I would hit myself and harm myself in many ways. After I got off drugs, I had to find myself again. I can't lie. I still trying to figure out who I am because I was on drugs for so long. But I've been doing better than I was before. I've been clean for years and I take pride in that because if I would have kept using, yes, I would have been on harder drugs by now. Even after therapy and such, I put myself through baptism classes to finally get baptized. Me and my daughter got baptized last Easter. My life changed. I read the Bible faithfully and try to do everything right every single time. I said I wasn't taking the fat pills nor selling, but I will take full responsibility for who I was hanging out with that had them that day. I said that day that put them in there because I have such a big heart and I try to see the good in people and that's my fault and I take full accountability. Since I'm probation for almost 2 years, I've never dropped dirty. I've been doing everything they asked. I've never missed an appointment or anything like that. Yes, my employment hasn't been perfect, but me staying in Detroit, it is hard out there. But I got 2 jobs actually, and I'm trying to work to pay back everything I owe. I said my daughter's all I have. Her dad is not in her life, and I try my hardest to be the best mother I could be. My past don't define me as who I am as a person. I said I go to work, come home, and spend as much time as I can with my 6-year-old.
Good times.
I just think about my baby. But because growing up, my mom was barely around. So I'm sorry to my mother as well because she raised me right, but I chose to do wrong by myself. I hang around the wrong crowd, but I've grown and I've been working on myself mentally, and I've been working on my mental health faithfully, trying to better myself every day. I will never be perfect, but nobody is. But I am a good person and a changed person. I quit drugs, and that's something I'm extremely proud of because I was addicted to pills for 4 years and it takes a toll on your brain. I was never thinking clearly, but since I've been sober, I've been trying my hardest. I joined a church and started getting my life back together. So I'm here to ask for some leniency because I have been doing so much better in my life. I have been doing so much better in my life. I have done so much time altogether, but I have so much time in jail altogether, but every time I come home, I have to start all over and it's hard, it's a struggle. I said, yes, I struggle. I will admit that I do, but I am trying and I will continue to try to better myself every day. Also for asking for leniency because my baby is all I have and I've been sober. I've been sober And I've been going to therapy for my mental health because they diagnosed me with more things this year. And I don't hang out with anybody that I used to, and that does anything illegal in any way. Altogether, I have done so much time. I feel like I learned my lesson I talk about like I learned my lesson so long ago. In the report, the day that I got picked up for those pills, it says I was shaking and nervous, but I was shaking and nervous because I've been in jail so many times that I got developed paranoia and been diagnosed with paranoia. So when I come across authority, that I do get scared. I said, I'm trying to get the help that I need, and I personally don't feel like jail would help me. Every time I go in and I come back out with more mental health issues than I had before. I started having seizures last year. I don't know why. I had a stroke last month, so we're trying to figure out what's wrong with me. I've had multiple health issues, but I'm trying to stay healthy for my kid because I'm the only one she has. So me getting checked out for my health issues is important to me. Because I don't know what they're trying to figure out what is wrong with me, because I seize for more than 5 minutes and that's not normal. I just want to be able to prove to everyone I'm not what they think that I am. I'm a good person. My background is not defining me. I grew up from 22 to 24 and I changed. I apologize for being around the wrong crowd, and I will take all responsibility for that. My daughter once told me, you go to jail, I won't have a mommy no more. And it broke my heart. I missed Christmas with her when I was a expert, and it broke my heart because she has nobody. You know, as a child, I was molested and traumatized in many ways, and I don't want my daughter to go through the same thing. So I'm trying to show her better. I will even go out of house arrest for 6 months to prove to you that I can do that. I plan on putting about 2,000 restitution when I get my tax return. Honestly, I plan on just paying it all off. I said I've been depressed and hurt in so many ways. I just hope you understand I really am trying. And I know most people come here and say that, but I really mean it. I want to be a better person for my kid because I don't want her to grow up and do the same things I've done. I don't want to keep going through these court dates. I travel 4 hours, 5 hours up here. I've never missed a court date. No matter if I have to wake up at 4 a.m, I'm here. I've never been perfect, but God knows I'm trying. And I said, thank you, Your Honor, for listening to me. I can promise you that I'll make you proud. I owe it to you, just counting my family and my child. But I'll never, never stop trying to be the best that I can. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. When did you stop using drugs? I thought you said 2022.
I got laced with fentanyl in 2022.
And that's when you stopped.
I stopped, and then I ended up losing my mind. I was cutting myself and all that, and I ended up putting myself through psychiatry. So my psychiatry note says that I started going at the end of 2022.
So you didn't use drugs after 2022?
After 2022? No, not that I recall, no. I stopped taking
As
this
part to a use of drugs out of River Rouge, Lincoln Park, 24th District Court, from an offense date and arrest February 4th, 2023.
Yes, for a cocaine charge, but like I said, I have such a big heart that I take everyone else's charge for them.
So your use of cocaine in 2023, that was somebody else's drugs. Your possession of fentanyl last year, that was somebody else's drugs too.
I know it's hard to believe. I understand.
Yes, it's very hard.
I know, I get it.
I'm not that stupid.
I'm honest.
All right, thank you. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from you?
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask that the court upheld the recommendations. It looks like when she was sentenced in December of 2023, 6 months later, she caught the possession of fentanyl charge. She made no payments on her restitution for 7 months, so a probation violation was filed. She made her first payment towards restitution 9 months after sentencing. Her second payment, and that was $300, her second payment was 11 months after sentencing. So we're at $500, and then it sounds like the last hearing, well into after her sentencing, we're at additional 163 for 661 out of the 5,400 restitution. Also, she caught new criminal charges. She was revoked unsuccessfully and revoked her HIDA status in Wexford County. In December of 2024, she was unsuccessfully discharged from probation as Osceola County. In January 2025, and then recently lost her HIDA status, was revoked and discharged from probation in the Costa County and the 49th Circuit Courts. I think based on her actions that the recommendation for 6 months jail is appropriate.
Ms. Escobar, if you want to stand for the court silence. Ms. Escobar, back in the 2022 cases, well, it's 2023 case here. You were going all over the state, passing bad fraudulent checks to get money for drugs. Sheboygan County, Mecosta County, Osceola County, Wexford County, and you got great deals in all those cases. Some of them, HIDA, you didn't have HIDA here, but you had a no jail recommendation. So you got a lot of leniency on that, and then have made very little effort toward making this right here. And you come here today and you say, well, I'll use my tax return to pay the restitution. Well, you would have had a tax return last year. I didn't see it used for restitution then. And then I got clean in 2022. In 2023, my drug charge, that was my drug conviction, that was somebody else's. My 2024 drug conviction, that was somebody else's. I just don't believe much of what you tell me. And I mean, you're convicted of crimes of dishonesty. So, you know, you've established that you're not a particularly honest person. I don't doubt that you've gone through all these difficulties, and I don't doubt that you want to make some changes, but just wanting is not good. Every team wants to win, but it's only the team that, you know, goes to practice and does the push-ups and does all the things that actually wins. So just wanting to make changes is not enough. You've got to comply with all this. I commonly, when people are charged with a new crime while they're on probation, do it by warrant and have them held without bond, which means you would have been in jail since last July. We didn't do that for you. Just, you know, see what you were doing. You had lots and lots of counties. We wanted to see what you would, and you still didn't make a whole lot of effort on the restitution. And we gave you that benefit and let you appear by Zoom plenty of times even, but you've now been revoked from probation in several counties. I think it's certainly appropriate to do so here. So I am gonna revoke your probation as and discharge you as unsuccessful. And I do think catching new criminal charges while you're on probation is grounds for some incarceration period. So I'm gonna order you serve 6 months in the Sheboygan County Jail with credit for 4 days previously served. You can file an application for appeal if you wish. If you want a lawyer, we give you one, but you'd have to ask us within 6 months of today. So we're going to hand you that appeal paperwork, ask you to initial one copy, and the rest of it is for you to fill out. All right.